Wednesday, certainly a very busy day for the Atlanta Braves. Hey, how are you folks? Jason Horowitz, glad to be with you here on CBSSports.com. They released Tom Glavine, they traded for Nate McLouth, and they called up pitching prospect Tommy Hanson. But does all of that make them contenders this year? Let's talk about it. Let's bring in CBSSports.com's baseball columnist Danny Knobler. And Danny, you wrote yesterday that they got rid of a Hall of Famer, they traded for an All-Star, but the biggest move is bringing up the unknown. Why do you say that?
Well, because of how good Tommy Hanson could be. People who saw him last year in the Arizona Fall League, people who saw him this year in spring training, this kid is considered the top, very top pitching prospect in baseball. And that gives them a better chance. It's funny to say that when you're talking about a kid who hasn't made a big league start yet against a guy who's won 300 games and going to the Hall of Fame.
And, of course, the biggest, at least name recognition-wise thing that happened, though, was releasing Tom Glavine. And he said yesterday to the AP through a text message that he's not sure if he's going to play again. What do you think will end up happening with Tom Glavine?
I think this is a very difficult decision for him. I think that if it had been another team other than the Braves, I'm not sure he would have been willing to go through all the rehab that he did. But the fact is now he's gone through a lot of that rehab, and he feels like he's ready to pitch in the big leagues. And honestly, if it had been a team with less pitching depth than the Braves, he might have been in the big leagues right now. The Braves didn't feel like his performance merited going into their rotation, but a lot of that is because of the depth of their rotation, and they were measuring him against would we rather have Tom Glavine in the rotation now, or would we rather have Tommy Hanson?
Well, another thing they did, that Frank Wren did to try and help them win now, is trading for Nate McLouth, the all-star outfielder from Pittsburgh. What does he bring to this lineup?
Well, he brings an outfield bat, which is what they really need. They needed another bat in the lineup. Chipper Jones gets hurt enough and misses enough time, and on the days when Chipper Jones is not playing, that lineup really looks thin. It looks thin even with him in it, but it really looks thin on the days he can't play. And they knew, the Braves knew, Braves people knew they needed another bat. What they also knew was they didn't have a lot of money to spend for this year. So the two moves yesterday, while they're not completely related, they are partly related, because by not they said the move with Glavine was not a business move, it was a baseball move. Well, that's partly true. They did think that Tommy Hanson gives them a better chance to win. But by not spending the $1 million roster bonus and the money that would have gone to Tom Glavine, that makes it much easier for them to add Nate McLouth's salary, which is only $2 million this year. They can fit that in. Nate McLouth gives them a center fielder. Jordan Schaefer had won the job in spring training, but they'd already sent him down. He wasn't hitting that well. Overall, the Braves needed another bat. Nate McLouth should be that.
Danny, when you look at the Braves as they are right now, and you look at the fact that the Phillies, the defending World Series champs, are above them, the Mets, without most of their superstars, are above them, where do you put Atlanta in the NL East?
Well, right now they're still the third team. But what's happened is, and one of the reasons for the Braves to make this move right now is the Mets have a lot of guys hurt. The Phillies' rotation has been better in the last week or so, but it's still questionable. There is opportunity there. Those teams haven't run away from the Braves. The Braves have a chance, and they want to try to make the most of that chance. I don't think it's a guarantee that they'll rush past the Braves. The Mets and Phillies. But if Tommy Hanson is as good as he could be and is as good right away as potentially he could be, then maybe that's the boost that the Braves need. I don't think it's a bad chance for them to take. It's not a guarantee, but I do think they have a shot.
All right, Danny Knobler, thank you very much, sir. And you're at what could be Randy Johnson's 300th win. Enjoy that, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good, Jason.
All right, folks, for more on the Braves, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com and see what else happens. Matt Holliday may be expecting a trade sometime soon as well. We'll be with it here on CBSSports.com. For Danny Knobler, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care, folks.